I analyze over 300 developer job postings to figure out what companies are actually hiring for in 2026. In the middle of tech layoffs, in the era of AI changing everything, and one skill kept showing up over and over again. It wasn't Python. It wasn't system design. It wasn't the stuff that used to get you hired 5 years ago. It was something most developers aren't learning. And the jobs asking for it, 200K, 300K, some even higher. While traditional developer roles are drowning in applicants and salaries are compressing, I picked up this skill early. That's how I got to over 200K a year, even without a CS degree. That's how I got reached out to by Apple, Meta, Netflix, Amazon, all during the layoffs because I had what they were actually looking for. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what this skill is and how to learn it before everyone else catches on. Here's what I found from the postings, the pattern at the moment. Traditional developer skills are everywhere. Python, JavaScript, React, every posting has them and every applicant has them. There's no differentiation. But one skill kept appearing in high-paying roles and almost nobody has it yet. That skill that I don't see everywhere at the moment is AI engineering. So what is it exactly? Well, it's basically taking AI models that already exist and making them work in production. Keyword here, key takeaway from this is making them work in production, not just doing tutorials or showing a demo, actually showing working results. LLMs or large language model implementation, RAG, agentic workflows, vector databases, not building AI from scratch, but making AI useful. They already exist, the models, putting them together, implementing them, and actually having a meaningful result. Why it's dominating job postings at the moment? Well, every company wants AI features. And when I say every company, not just the big tech companies that you expect, it's every single company. It could be the local pizza parlor. If they're able to automate certain business practices, they could make themselves a lot more efficient, especially if they have fewer people on their staff, right? And the thing is, very few people can actually build these models or build these solutions for them because the models already exist. You actually implement it for them. So again, models already exist. Companies need people who can actually implement them and implement them that is geared towards their business needs. You need to understand why traditional developer skills aren't enough anymore. Well, the problem is there's the saturation of the market. Everyone knows Python. Everyone knows JavaScript. Everyone has built a React app. When everyone has the same skills, salaries compress because and they could get anyone to do this, right? Here's the thing. The AI problem at the moment, AI writes the code right now. The value of pure coding is dropping because there's even the concept of vibe coding where people who don't even know how to code can make code, right? Companies need less of traditional developers right now and whatever they have to offer because a lot of it, the actual writing of code itself, that AI could do at the moment. So the result, thousands of applicants for every traditional role and salaries are stagnating or dropping. Meanwhile, AI engineering roles can't find enough people. So what do the 200K plus postings have in common? Well, mainly the skills they ask for. If you look them up, they'll ask for LangChain, RAG, a vector databases, and agentic workflow. They want people who have experience deploying large language model-based systems. They want people who have the ability to take AI from demo to actually production, actually work in their business case and having business solution, having a business impact. What they don't care about is a computer science degree, often not mentioned or listed as basically if it is not listed at all. And if it does have it, it's in like the last paragraph where it's like nice to have if you happen to have these things, but that is not like the decisive factor. Years of experience, many say 2-3 years, not 10, because this is relatively new. And traditional credentials, they want proof of skill, not what you have on paper, like theoretically what you could do is like, what have you done with this? So the opportunity right now, these roles are high paying because supply is low. There's a high demand, not just in big tech companies, every company, and the supply of people who can actually deliver on this is low. So most developers haven't learned these skills yet. So if there's so much opportunity out there, there's high demand and low supply, why most developers aren't learning this? Well, the thing is, they're following old advice. So if you go with grind, lead code, build your resume, learn another framework, that advice is like 5 years ago, right? They don't know the skills they need at the moment because it's so new. Basically, AI engineering is new. The career advisors don't recommend it because they don't know about it and colleges don't teach it because again, they don't know about it yet. Things will eventually catch up. At the moment, there's a window for this, right? If you're not paying attention to what companies actually post, you'll miss. They think they need more credentials first. Well, waiting to get a degree, waiting to get more experience. Meanwhile, people with no credentials are getting hired. Why? Because they applied. They showing that they could solve the problem. That's what companies want. If you could prove that you could solve a problem for them, they'll hire you, as opposed to someone who have a degree and they don't even know what the degree means. Let's look at the landscape of the job market reality in 2026. What's shrinking right now? Well, traditional software engineering roles, junior developer positions, generic full stack jobs. Too many applicants, salaries are dropping at the moment. But what's growing is AI engineering, large language models implementation, and AI infrastructure. There's not enough applicants, so salaries are rising. Again, supply and demand. There's a high demand for this, but there's a low supply. So the split, developers fighting over shrinking roles, the traditional ones, versus developers positioning for growing roles. Same market, really different experience. So how to learn AI engineering? Step one, learn the foundation. Learn Python for data, NumPy, Pandas. These takes weeks, not years to learn. And the other things you want to learn just enough to work with data and the APIs for AI models. Step two, learn modern AI stack. So that's LangChain, RAG architecture, vector databases like Pinecone or Chroma. Agentic workflows and prompt engineering at scale. So this is where 200K skills are. This is where they lie at the moment. And then step three, engineering fundamentals. So yes, if you're a software developer, you know a lot of these things. So you're not starting from scratch, and you could have an advantage of people who are starting from scratch, because you still need to know source control with Git. You still need to use Docker to containerize your work, so you don't have the problem of, well, it works on my computer. You want to be able to deploy it. You need to know APIs, because you're not going to be building AI models from scratch. You're going to be using models that already exist and linking them together, integrating them together to solve a business problem. So you need to know how to work with those APIs to actually communicate with them. And then the cloud basics, because once you have it working locally with your tests and whatnot, you want to scale this up. You have your source code, you put it into a Docker container, and then you put it on the cloud with the APIs kind of talking to all the different models. And you want to scale that up to the cloud and to all the different divisions. This is the power of it, because you can actually multiply what you've done, and businesses will see the impact of this. So you need to deploy, not just prototype. And step four, build real projects, solve actual problems. Don't just do tutorial toy projects, and show you could take AI from demo to production. So why don't you need a computer science degree to do this? Well, at the moment, the skills is too new. There's no degree or for AI engineering. Everyone's self-taught. So job postings prove it. Most don't require degrees. The companies hire skills. Can you implement? Can you ship? Can you actually solve the problem? They don't care where you learned it from. They want to know, can you do it? And proof beats credentials. A portfolio of AI projects beats a diploma. If you could show what you could do, companies will be interested. So what I did, my background, I did not have a computer science degree when I started with this. My path is non-traditional to the tech role. I was working in visual effects in Hollywood films, AAA games, feature animation. But I saw what companies were actually hiring for. And what I focus on was basically learn AI implementation, because I saw that companies literally during their all hands meetings, which happens every city town hall meetings every quarter, showing where the projection of the company is doing in the next 5 years. They're showing that they want more efficiency, but less resources or human resources to actually do the work. I saw where the trend was going. So I learned how to leverage AI to scale up my skill set, and also make myself more valuable, because I was able to actually implement it, learn LangChain, RAG, and the modern stack. And I built proof, because I actually worked on real projects that actually delivered and that solved real problems. So I became the go-to person. And the result of that, doing that work at real companies, basically make over 200K a year. And then companies like Apple, Meta, Netflix, Amazon start reaching out to hire me, because they saw that, wait, you're actually solving these things at other notable companies. You're working on real problems and actually coming up with solutions to them. So if you could do it there, can you do that for us? And all this was happening during layoffs, because I had the skills that they couldn't find enough of. Again, supply and demand. Every company is looking to have this as a solution for them. There's a high demand for it, but there's a low supply, because not many people can do it or prove that they can do it. You have to understand right now there's a window of opportunity. Why it matters right now? Well, AI engineering is new enough that supply is still low. So most developers haven't caught on yet. People who learn it now get the best opportunities. What's coming? Well, more people are going to figure it out over time, and the advantage will shrink. In a few years, this skill becomes basically like table stakes right here. And the window for early mover advantage is right now. So you want to position yourself, become known for it, have actual experience over time. So in the future, people go to you because they know you've done it. You know you actually completed real projects. You know you're reliable, as opposed to other people who are figuring this out and try to catch up to it. You'll have an advantage over them because you've been doing it before. So people are going to look at the established people before people just coming into the game now. So these are the questions I hear or comments people have said over time. And so these are the things people that you might be wondering is like, for example, I don't have a computer science degree. Well, most 200K plus postings don't require one. The skill is too new for that. You want to make sure you can actually do it. That's what's more important for them, right? The other thing is, I'm not smart enough. Well, it's about focus, not IQ. Learn the right things, focus on that. And if you worked at other places before, you might have learned a lot of things in school, but when you actually work on the job, you're only using a subset of that on your day to day. Same type of thing here. You need to focus on what the right things to get the job done. The other thing is saying the market is too competitive. Yes, it's for traditional roles. Yes, that is very saturated. But again, supply and demand. There's not many people right now who can supply AI engineering. So that is wide open right now. And that is why their salaries are higher. The other thing is people say, well, I need more experience first. Well, build projects. That becomes your experience. Right now, it's so new. You got to go in and solve real problems. As soon as you do it, you become confident because basically, like competence, if you become competent in it, that builds confidence. And by doing that, by doing actual real projects, you're going to be competent because you've done it before. And you'll be more confident when you talk about, yes, I know AI, I know how to implement it. I'm an AI engineer and I've done it before. So it won't be hard to convince other people because you've done it. So here's the action plan. This week, look at actual job postings. See what is 200K plus roles and what they're asking for. Look at the actual job description, what they expect, and then start learning the modern AI stack. This month, build your first real AI project, not a tutorial. Document what you're building. And then in 90 days, have 2-3 projects that show AI engineering skills. Start applying to roles that match what you've built. Here's your next step. First of all, the data is clear. AI engineering is a skill that gets you hired in 2026. The 200K plus roles, right, that are out there, they exist. And most people just aren't qualified yet. So if you want the exact steps to make that move, get the skills, the positioning, and the path to 200K plus AI role, then check out the links in the description.